good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Hello and welcome to weekly tips where I'm putting some sense in your tip jar. Hello and welcome today. Today I'm pretty much talking to you about selection tool. Now I know I have chatted about tools before, and yeah, I'm going in a little bit deeper into some selection tools here. Because I found a tool that's interesting and new. I don't know how new it is, it's probably been in older versions, but I've just kind of discovered it. But yeah, there's a few selection tools obviously that Photoshop gives you. This is about Photoshop mainly, so unfortunately if you don't have Photoshop, they might have similar tools to whatever program you're using, but they'll probably be different. So we start off with basically the shape tools. So this is all on one layer. And say you have an image that you want to cut out something for some reason. Maybe you want to cut out your character because you accidentally flattened it on a layer, or you want to cut out a flower on something to place it somewhere for some reason. Yeah, these are basically the selection tools that will help you select the things. So you know, the shape tool is really easy. If you got something that's really circular to select, you can use the circle tool. Obviously if you hold shift it will be perfect, but basically, you know, you can you know, a bit of practice with this, but you can, you know, select it really well if you get it to the right, you know, proportions and everything. You could do like math and stuff like that and measure how like big the circumference of the circle is and properly select it. But I mean, that's a rough selection. It leaves a little bit of the outside. Probably needs something a little bit bigger than that. About there, I think. And there you go. That pretty much is perfect. And I can go layer, new, via cut, and that way, you know, I've selected the object, and then I can, you know, you can transform it if I want to make it bigger for some reason or anything like that. You know, it's all done. Anywho, it's all on one layer again. You can inverse that, so you know, if you want to select inverse, and that will select the outside, so you can cut the outside of it rather than the inside. There might be some reason you want to do this. Maybe you're cutting a certain part of a creature or something like that. It could be useful to do it this way. But you can select and deselect that. The next tool is obviously the lasso tool, which is real easy. You can just draw it. This can be, though, a little bit like, I suppose, hard to do because you've got to be very slow, and one slip up or one stop, it, you know, makes that shape. You can't select any more of it. You can like edit it, you can like add more and move it around and stuff like that, but it gets pretty tight, especially when you're doing a character. So the next one's Magic Wand, and Magic Wand can be very useful. Obviously it depends on what you're selecting as well. Like, it can do perfect selections, or it can do like very bad selections. It depends. At the moment, say it's not the best selection because it's going in and out of things. But you can do things like turn up the tolerance and things like that. But you know, for this purpose of this, I can go into that in a further video. A bit more about Magic Wand tool. But there's a few more selection tools here, and the one I wanted to talk really about was the magnetic lasso tool. Obviously I might talk about these selection tools a bit later on, but for now I'm just kind of introducing you to some that you could think about using. This one is quite cool because you can you have points, so it's like the lasso tool, but it's still, if you push backspace, you can get rid of where you were and go back to where you were. But yeah, you can pretty much go around a shape pretty freely and nearly get it close to perfectly selected. Like that is pretty perfectly selected, and you can do this with a lot of shapes. Obviously it is not perfect, but you can get as close to it as possible. You can backspace and move your cursor to try and get a better selection. It does play up a little bit, and you can like play with controls and things. But for me, this actually works really well. So it's another awesome selection tool, and it's called the magnetic lasso tool. I recommend it for a selection tool. And yeah, it's the same process. You can invert it, but layer new via cut, and then it's its own layer for some reason. Maybe you need to make it bigger or something. Maybe you're selecting your character and you need to make it bigger in the scene, or there's a certain element, or you just want to separate it for editing purposes, anything like that. So yeah, that's been the selection tools today. I hopefully you did learn something. There's plenty of selection tools in Photoshop, so hopefully you do try them out. I will be going into some of these selection tools a bit further on, so hopefully you look forward to seeing those videos. Feel free to subscribe to see those videos in the future. And yeah, if you do, use selection tools, what's your favorite selection tool to use? What kind of ways do you select things to break things apart and things like that? Anything like that, feel free to put it down in the comments below. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.